Here's absolutely everything you need to know about Bitcoin and other markets this week in exactly 7 minutes and 52 seconds starting now. Straight away, we can see that the Bitcoin price action has had a very positive last week, up around 10.5%. But it feels a hell of a lot more than that considering we've been chopping this $70,000 resistance for what seems like too long and failed to surpass it throughout the past few weeks. So now we've actually convincingly broke above it. Hopefully we can continue that trend to the upside. And if we zoom in, we can see Bitcoin has actually closed 2 consecutive green weeks for the first time in what feels like eternity. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Although I will say the last time this happened, it didn't result in the most positive price action following, so we'll just have to keep an eye on things there. But the opening green week here is a promising start. We can also see in the last few days, the Bitcoin circulating supply actually surpassed 20 million Bitcoin, which is a pretty monumental threshold, as the remaining 1 million Bitcoin before we hit that hard cap is going to take until around 2140 to hit. So over 20 million now in circulation with less than 1 million to go over the next century. And what we can see, even in spite of the more recent week or two we've had of positive price action, we still remain very close to the MV/RV Z-score accumulation zone, according to probably one of the most, if not the most, accurate accumulation metrics that exist in terms of on-chain data analysis. As we can see, the realized price is somewhere around this $50,000 region. This is the realized cap, so multiplying by that 20 million circulating supply, but it is trending to the downside. So if we do move down, then I do foresee that to be a fairly convincing level of support, especially considering not too far beneath that price, we also have the 200 weekly moving average at about $58,000. So a hell of a lot of support just beneath us, and not too much resistance above us until we get to this green 100 daily moving average, which is currently around $80,000. And then above them, we have a cluster of moving averages and some volume pressure at around the $85,000 region and above. And we can see this is what we outlined in last week's site subscriber weekly analysis, saying that we were just above a fairly considerable amount of buy pressure and support. So we were expecting some fairly decent upside. And considering there's very little resistance, as I said, until we hit around that $86,000 level, it's a fairly favorable risk to reward to accumulate, given we have around $20,000 of fairly easy breathing room above. And we can see the value days destroyed multiple has also recently dropped to one of the lowest levels we've seen in years, at around 0.25 as I film this, which is actually the lowest level since we've seen in 2018. Now I am aware it's not the easiest chart when it's formatted like this, so using the API, I actually grabbed it here and put it on a logarithmic scale just so you can see a little easier. We are seeing a substantial amount of accumulation from some of the space's biggest holders, as we've seen a new all-time high in the addresses with at least 100 BTC in balance, which was actually on a fairly steady downwards trajectory for many, many years until just around late 2024. And especially over the past few weeks, we've seen a substantial amount of accumulation from these big players. With one of those obviously being Sailor, who recently accumulated over 22,000 BTC, giving them over 761,000 Bitcoin in their treasury. Over the past few weeks, they've been very aggressively accumulating, considering they started the year off pretty slowly. And for some Bitcoin related news, we can see Morgan Stanley is filing to charter, custody, and stake cryptocurrencies, which is pretty nice considering only around 8 years ago that they put the actual valuation of Bitcoin at somewhere around $0. In other news, we can see that the developments forming in the Middle East still don't seem to be progressing too positively, with lots of strikes still occurring. And even in spite of the very peaceful and optimistic words that we're seeing from US politicians and senators, unfortunately, this hasn't really materialized into equity returns. As we can see, the S&P 500 has continued its downtrend, and even assets like gold, we can see, have been struggling over the past few days. And we are actually seeing a little bit of a cool off in the oil price, considering it's risen over 100% from its yearly lows to those recent highs it set. It's now actually down over 20%. We can see this is almost certainly due to the fact that we've seen the US dollar strength index continue to climb fairly rapidly, and along with that, some liquidity constraints. However, what we have seen is actually a bullish reaction from Bitcoin, with another piece here from our site subscriber weekly analysis post showing that Bitcoin actually follows the inverse relationship of the US dollar strength index, but typically with about 100-day offset. So maybe this bear market rally could last a few weeks longer, at least until around May time, before we potentially see a little bit of a pullback. But it is very promising to see Bitcoin versus the S&P gaining substantial ground, versus the Nasdaq, versus gold, and even versus silver. We can see Bitcoin has made considerable progress to the upside since bottoming out just a few weeks ago. So what we can see is Bitcoin maybe is starting to show some glimmers and hope that we can actually be an inflationary hedge and a store of value asset, not just a speculative high beta play on US equities. We can also see that we did get a little bit of a positive bump given the fact that the US Consumer Price Index came in at where it was forecasted, and given the fact that many analysts in the space were expecting this to be considerably higher, I do think that contributed to a slightly more positive week than many were anticipating. And this is good news. It means that even though we are getting poorer due to debasement, it's actually happening a little bit slower than many thought it would be. Looking towards the week ahead, we do have an FOMC meeting in just a few days' time, although there's almost a 100% certainty that the interest rate target range is not going to be changing at all. However, this is definitely being overshadowed by the fact that Fed Chair Jerome Powell is currently being probed into, and not in the good way, and is likely going to be replaced by Kevin Warsh in the not too distant future, who many are actually fairly bullish on given the fact that he seems to have a very positive outlook on Bitcoin. Although we do have to be cautious of the fact that mail shoe anxiety is truly hitting the Oval Office. I can't believe this is a real ad spill. It's even way longer than I thought it would be. And for other markets this week, we can see that there is the NVIDIA Big AI conference happening in just a few days' time. And given the fact they are the biggest company in the world and everyone seems to just be hanging on every single word and earnings call of NVIDIA to see where the rest of the market is going to be going, it could be a little bit of a volatile week, especially if there are some bullish news stories or some big technological developments, or potentially even more RAM kits being sold with one-to-one value packs with one stick purely just lighting up and not actually doing anything else. God, don't you love AI? Tweet of the week comes from Crypto Rand calling me the Mr. Beast Bitcoiner, which personally I don't see. And in other news, for any of you who are planning on taking part in the North Korean marathon, unfortunately it has been cancelled for some reasons. My expectations for the week, as long as we don't get any significantly negative news coming out of the Middle East, is to continue trading high, potentially up towards testing this $77,000-ish region, which provided a little bit of a pause during our most recent down move. I think beneath us we'll have fairly considerable support at around the $70,000 level, but given the fact we've had fairly consistent moves to the upside, I'd maybe wait for a slight pullback before potentially re-entering at a better risk reward at around the $72,000 level. We may be slightly overextended to the upside. And if we can break above that $77,000 level, then I think it's a fairly clear path towards 80K. And that was everything you needed to know in Bitcoin and markets this week. Let me know your thoughts on this new video format and if you like the content, or if you thought there was any news stories that I unfortunately missed. Let me know your thoughts and feedback, comments, and any other positive feedback you have. Any negative feedback, then just lie to me. Just say something else in the comments below and on social media. And I hope to see you again next week. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.